And spawning here at the top right, we got our blue Zerg player. He plays for the Freaks. Give it up for SOO.
And down in the bottom left-hand corner in the red, he's representing Alpha X. It is Astrea. Yeah, so far nothing crazy, obviously. I mean, usually, not always, obviously, but usually, Protoss versus Zergs start off slow, and then before they get more exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of downtime because we're not going to be able to find out what kind of strategy Astrea is going to go for until after that cybernetic core does complete. And then after that, it could be a variety of things. It could be a Stargate, it could be a Twilight Council, into DTs, or into Glaive of Depths, or it could be just really a robo into, disruptor drops. It could be a multitude of things. So we'll find out after that cybernetic core does complete.
Yeah, I would actually think that we're going to look at a Stargate, because that worked pretty well for Astrea in that series that I've casted. So we'll see. I might just be wrong. That's what usually happens when I try to assume things from games that players played earlier. But you never know. Maybe I'm right for once. Yeah. SOO been forced to place the natural in a more third base location, because he was like, yeah, you have your probe there, fine. I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna delay anything.
Yeah,
I think that's a good decision.
Yeah, you do see a lot of the Protoss do that, but then there are some that doesn't. So, I think on the map like this, on Waterfall, where the bases are pretty spread out, I would assume that most Protosses would do this on this map, because it makes the drone transfer like much longer.
Yeah, that is very true. And obviously, now that I said it, that Astrea is gonna go for a Stargate. He went for a Twilight Council, so more than likely we're gonna look at either Arcane Harassment or just straight up Glaive to Depths. We'll see.
Yeah, I can see a Glaive of Depth timing. I mean, this map is pretty short in terms of bases to bases, and also SOO did take that natural, or took that second base at a base that is closer to the natural of Astrea. So he doesn't really even need to get a War Prism theoretically, but it looks like he will as he throws down his robotics facility.
And we have the glaive, the resonating glaives for the adepts. So these guys are gonna be terrifying very soon.
It's going to be important for SOO to scout this ahead of time, make sure he gets his Roach Warren in the correct timing, because you don't want your Roach production to be late and then all these adepts are attacking your mineral line.
Well, he's got no idea. Like, he wasn't even close to that main base of Astrea yet, so he has no idea what's happening. The only thing that he could maybe base his judgment on are these two adepts that he saw with his Overlord, and that he sees with or saw with the Zerglings. But I don't think he's going to. I mean, it's a little bit of very limited information. But of course, with that War Prism, maybe he can deduct more of that. I'm sorry. Astrea's like, I'm gonna get you. You can't run away from me.
I mean, you can't help it. It's like popping the pimple, It's like, you gotta pop that Overlord.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of Zerglings here now. Roaches are on the way, so SOO either knowingly or unknowingly made good decisions here on his end. 11 roaches in production. No, it's only 7 anymore. But and adepts aren't necessarily the greatest units that you want to have if you are up against roaches. So we'll see. That's like 6 gateways off of 2 bases. Very aggressive.
Yeah, yeah. I was like thinking like this attack is a little bit delayed, but because he is actually waiting for those gateways to finish and more to warp in. And here we go. Looks like the first wave of adepts does finish and complete the shade here on top of the queens, though. And I don't know. I'm kind of liking Su's position. He's got the roaches in terms of numbers. He hasn't lost too many. Oh, actually, you know what? Never mind. Looks like starting to lose some drones here.
Yeah, he lost 2 queens also, if I saw that correctly. And these are still quite a few adepts here. Of course, Astrea can't invest too much, because if he loses too many adepts, this cost him at some point. But right now, 13 dead drones, plus a bunch of queens, plus a bunch of roaches. I think that was a pretty good deal for him here.
The worker kills starting to add up here, but it looks like the momentum, the steam of this harassment is starting to finally die down as more and more roaches pop on out. However, I would love to see Astrea start to a third base here. I mean, there's really not much room for him to continue this harassment. Yeah, you can find a couple of drones here and there, but I think for all intents and purposes, this attack, I think, has pretty much completed. So might as well start transitioning into a third base.
Yeah, he blocked himself out. Like, he closed his base entirely to prevent himself from circling run-bys, which is, I think, a great decision. But of course, he had to first kill the closing pylon before he can start expanding.
Ah, I see.
So it's down now, but so far he did not go ahead and expand just yet. Look, I'm not like entirely certain that he actually will. Might, but yeah, the immortals that he built also, of course, want to get out. So, and the war prism was across the map and not available at that time. A lot of attempts.
All right, interesting.
Oh, and I like this. I like this. Double prong attack, always. Really tricky.
Oh yeah, this is one of the reasons why glaive adept builds are on this map is so good. It's like the base is just so spread it out and making it so difficult for Su to split his units.
Yeah.
Like
Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
He's just basically running after these shades as best as he can. Meantime, he's losing all of his drones, or most of his drones, and there's just gonna be more and more adepts. This is insane.
Yeah, especially since it's only 6 gate. It's not like it was the 8 gate, like completely committed all in. It's 6 gate.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, you can see Astrea already starting to throw down his third nexus. He knows he has done enough damage. I mean, 43 drones going down. That is, whew, that is really tough.
I mean, Su is at 24 workers. This is not the time that you want to be at 24 workers at. So this is the time where you want to build units, where you want to have all your workers already. You want to be at like 60 workers or 80 workers even, and just build units. But Su cannot do that. He has to kind of replenish his worker count. But he's not going to. Astrea takes game number 1. And again, starting off a little bit slow. Because obviously, as you just said in the other game, we only know what happens on at least the Protoss side once that cybernetics core finishes up. I mean, we can make guesses, but as we already know, they might be wrong.
Yeah, you can make guesses like based off their playstyle in this specific matchup, but could you have had imagined if this game started off with 6 workers instead of 12, and we had to wait like 4 or 5 minutes to actually find out what the Protoss is going for?
Yep.
Like, that was pretty much Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm.
That's 6 worker builds. Can you imagine? Can you still remember that?
I remember when like Forge opening was the go-to for Protoss.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember that too. That was so. Oh my god, that's so long ago. I feel so
Yeah.
old now.
The good old days.
Absolutely. I love these Forge openings. I mean, I even try them occasionally just to see, but they absolutely don't work anymore. It's just.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. I guess
Yeah.
maybe not for other races. They're like, thank God that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, you need something that you can walk across the map, especially against a Zerg. So Forges are usually not walking across the map unless you carry them there. So
And it's pretty
in
heavy.
the form of a cannon rush. Yeah, but yeah, standard opening here so far from both guys. Nothing crazy, nothing cheeky, nothing anything. Both are just sitting back and doing their thing.
Yep, Austria trying to see if there's anything he can scout. Usually you would want to at least scout into the in the middle line of the natural, just kind of give you an indication of how many workers there are. Like if there's not a lot of workers, then you can kind of anticipate that the Zerg is going for some kind of push, some aggressive push. If there is a decent amount of drones, then you can kind of infer that it's a normal game. There's nothing crazy coming.
Yeah, you also want to be wary though, because sometimes Zergs just transfer drones to that natural, so they don't have any drones in the main anymore, or not many in the main anymore, and they still push you. So you also want to check the main base for their drones.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You don't get bamboozled. But we have an entirely normal Zerg here. Nothing to report. That adept came home. I've got nothing to report, sir. Everything looks normal.
I'm trying to imagine the voice of Lings if they can speak English. Would it sound like that?
I don't know what Lings sound like.
They'll probably sound like.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Robo. Okay. Okay. Lots of gateways and a Robo and Blink and +1. What does that tell us about the Protoss player?
It would seem that he might go for a potential Blink Stalker with a lot of sentry timing. So the idea is that you know Blink Stalker, you can of course have to blink micro to blink your injured stalkers away, but you need to kind of segment the army of the Zerg so that his entire army doesn't get on top of your stalkers. So you can use force fields for that. Now, luckily for SOO, he's got the Roach Warren, so that means he's gonna be able to get those Ravagers out, which will break those force fields with the corrosive biles. But if you can kind of warp in enough sentries, you can kind of force field behind it after the the initial force fields get broken up by the corrosive biles. So looks like Austria is going to go ahead and start moving out. Got the War Prism as well. Looking to throw the probe to the dirt base as a fake out. He's not really trying to look to get a dirt base. And I think SOO is kind of realizing
he's got
that.
one, so
Oh, sorry, the fourth base.
He's got one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this does look a little bit like the baguette style that Petit Drogo used to play. Little less sentries than he did have, but yeah, lots of stalkers. Lots of stalkers.
Yeah, the stalkers are warping in here. A lot of gateways for Austria to use. And here we go. It's going to come down to the micro here.
Absolutely. It's going to be very interesting. The thing is, if Astrea fails his blink micro, then he's in trouble. force field so far, though. I mean, of course, you kind of do not want to fight against Zerglings if you have Stalkers.
Yeah, I'm liking what Su's doing now. He's splitting his army into a bunch of lynx and roaches and raptors, so he has a good balance on both sides. Actually, one half of his army is now chasing the army, so looks like he's trying to set up a little bit of a surround here. And will he get trapped? Oh, just barely sneaks on by.
Yeah, Astrea is being chased home, like, absolutely mercilessly. He is going for robotics base, so disruptors are probably gonna be a thing. We'll see if he gets to do that, as Su is like, yeah, bro. You think your adepts are gonna do something like in the last game, bro. Now you have stalkers. Not gonna work either way. We'll see. It's interesting.
Oh man, I don't think Astrea should have chased down the army of Su. He wasn't going to be able to face it one-on-one, and this is not an area where you can really force field effectively. So Astrea gotta make sure not to overextend on in terms of the chase down. And now it looks like the game does stabilizes.
For now, at least. And yeah, we do see the disruptors here. Do you think maybe an immortal would have been good here in this situation? I mean, there were lots of roaches after all. Just to dish out a lot of damage. Or to just wait for the disruptors. I mean, they're here now anyways. Yeah, never mind. They're here now.
Yeah, it's a hard call sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, you could have added an immortal or two, but Su did have links, so those links would have been able to counter the immortals. But it could have definitely, like, if you can kind of focus fire in the middle of the fight on the immortal target fire on the roaches, then I think that could have been alright. But it looks like he was able to, kind of take advantage of his defender's advantage in order to defend that huge attack. So now he's got the disruptors, and it looks like he will have the tools to at least put up a fight against these roaches and ravagers.
And we do have ITaX coming out, so I would suppose we are also going to see lurkers here in a moment. Yep, there we go. And the according upgrades as well. But I think this is probably going to be a longer game than the other ones that we've seen so far. As both archers sitting at the moment in front of each other and be like, yeah, we just build some stuff here. That's a lot of lurkers though.
Yeah, 6 lurkers on the... Oh no!
Oh no! These disruptors! So exposed! And now dead. Poor things. Good shot though. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, I think that might have been the mistake there that cost Astrea the game.
Yep. Absolutely agreed. That was really unfortunate. And now Su is able to sneak forward. Just slowly but surely get on top of this 3rd base or 4th base or whatever number that base has. I think it's the 4th one. These lurkers.
Oh, actually, that was a money shot there. Okay, that's what Astrea really needed. That, I mean, it was looking very troublesome for him, but now I think he's gonna be able to clean this out. And mind you, there is some charge by run bys while this is going on, so doing some nice significant economic damage across the map too. So if Astrea can hold on and defend against this, which it looks like he will, I think he's going to be in great shape.
Oh, absolutely! I did not even see or notice these zealots until you mentioned them, and that's another load of zealots right into that main base.
Yeah, luckily for Su, though, that he does have the roaches in position to defend, but he's got another huge attack here coming down the south side, which he's got to allocate a lot of his units to. But he can't allocate all of his units because that War Prism is still alive in the main base there. And so he's going to have to leave a couple of roaches there. But you know, Astrea kind of playing it smart. He doesn't really need to go for the kill. All he needs to do is just keep Su in check in terms of bases, clear out the creep as well. You can see the creep not as spread out across the map, and Astrea doing a nice job, just, you know, continuously getting bases, more bases, and macroing up.
Okay, so that War Prism is finally dead. Good for Su, as he does not have to split his army, at least not for a little while. And meantime, Astrea is like, okay, let's get maybe some Stargate upgrades. Let's switch into disruptors. Carriers! It's carriers. The big ones. Oh no. But yeah. Storm also, and this is... Astrea is definitely ready for the late game here. Or getting ready for the late game, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, he is definitely gonna go for that the sky toss composition with that fleet beacon. Just making sure he has, you know, enough gases to mine off to fund those expensive units. In the meantime, he's got to defend against this attack at the front, but with disruptors, with high templates, with storm, I don't see him having too much problem defending against this, unless his observer does get sniped down.
You wanna know how many probes Astrea lost so far? 3.
Wow.
As opposed to 28 drones of Su. So also he's not going for the workers. He's going for the Nexus. And another 6 drones go down on Su's side. Oh my goodness.
Oh, beautiful storm there by Astrea on top of those Hydralisks, weakening them into the red life. Oh man, it's not looking good here for our red Zerg. He is looking like he's gonna drop down to 0-2 here.
Might well be in. I'm sorry for chuckling, but that was a good disruptor shot right on top of these remaining Hydralisks, and this is... GG is called. I mean, yeah, of course. As a Zerg, you can only do one thing. You can either build workers, you can build overlords, or you can build army. If you have to build workers, that means you can't build army. So eventually you're gonna run out of units, and that's what happened here.
I'm just impressed because he has like the coolest name in all of StarCraft. Max Angel. That's his real name, Max Angel. Like, that's like
really?
Perfect name.
That's his real name, Max Angel?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's a cool name. I didn't know that, so
I know.
That is really cool.
Imagine your parents name you Max Angel. Like, that is just awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So he must be blessed.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he's not only got a cool name, but he's himself a very handsome guy. So, I mean, he's got it all going on. He's got the talent in StarCraft 2 as well. Like, really, he's an angel. Pun intended, guys.
Honestly, I can almost see him try to pull off that adept build from earlier again. I mean, we already have a Twilight Council, and now he's getting Robotics Facility as well. We'll see what he's gonna go for. Research-wise.
Still no upgrades here on that Twilight Council, so...
Maybe just a Dark Shrine? We'll see. I mean, he is doing everything he can to keep that Overlord from scouting anything, and there we go. We have the Resonating Glaives.
Now, Australia did pull out the 6-gate push in the first game on the waterfall, but will he do it again this time around? Now, the distance is a little bit longer compared to Waterfall because there are some of these kind of the pathway kind of zigzags a little bit, and so I mean he's gonna have to Warp Prism, so I guess that does solve that problem, that issue. So yeah, we'll see if he drops. Oh no, actually drops down the Robotics Bay.
Robotics Bay. I'm gonna put out a wild guess. Well, I kind of don't think it's gonna be Colossus. I can't imagine it's gonna be Colossus. If it's gonna be Colossus, I'm gonna just be like, whoa, but I don't think so. Who plays Colossus nowadays in Purpose vs. Zerg? Not a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree. I think he might do, kind of what Zoun is going to go for, like, disruptors, disruptor drops, following up with the Glaive Adepts. So the idea is you do a Glaive Adept push, and in the meantime you transition to disruptors. Maybe even add in the one Colossus, like it wouldn't be too bad, and then you go for a 2-base push with a bunch of gateways behind that.
It looks like he just wants to make SOO think that he's going for that same Adept push again. But SOO, I think, already knows that he doesn't, because he can count, I suppose, and he knows that there are way fewer Adepts than there were in the first game. And we indeed see Disruptors.
Yeah, I mean, Astrea, the great thing about this is that you kind of force Zerg to just overreact. You can see, like, the drone count only at 42 because he's got to invest so much into these armies, into these units, that is not going to really matter too much, at least in the next couple of minutes, because Astrea is not looking to really go for a committed attack. He's just transitioning into Disruptors.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to scare SOO a little bit here and be like, yeah, let's see how you react to half as many Adepts than I threw at you in the first game. And yeah, SOO absolutely reacted heavily to that. He has to, because if he does let these Adepts go unchecked, then Astrea might capitalize on that and really warp in an amount of Adepts if he wanted to. But yeah, he didn't. He's like, yeah, just a few Adepts, just some, and then I get some Disruptors and Blink. And ooh, that's a few dead probes here. I think that's still a good enough amount of Adepts here to defend this many Zerglings anyways. That's a lot of Zerglings.
Oh. Someone lagging? So far, so far there's no pop-up, so alright, looks like things are back to normal.
Yeah, sometimes when from the EU, the Korean server is a bit laggy, so
oh yeah,
I hope that's not going to happen.
Yeah, even in the NA, like, Korea server can be a little bit wonky for me as well, so yeah, EU to Korea is even more further, so it's understandable. But anyhow, looks like the game has continued on, and looks like we have 2 Adepts here harassing. Nice amount of damage.
Good focus fire. Yeah, 7 workers dead. Good focus fire on the drones. That's oh, that was a good shot. I mean, now we see what he got these Disruptors for. I suppose. And he's getting more. A Blink. He's got all the tools. He's getting +1. Archons even. He might be getting Storm if he would want to. Even though right now, if there's no Hydralisks, there will be. But right now with no Hydralisks, I think these Archons are more useful. But as soon as I think he spots these Hydralisks, he's gonna go for the Storm as well. Yeah, it's just so good.
Yeah, Storm doesn't really do too much against primarily a Roach, even with Lings, because the Lings are on top of your army. You don't want to storm your own army. No. They're good against Banelings though, and also, like you mentioned, Hydralisks. So yeah, once those Hydralisks are out, I think he will start that Storm upgrade. But it looks like Astrea not even allowing him to go there before he starts attacking here, as his army is across him. Oh, actually not paying quite as much attention here. Looks like he was preoccupied with something.
Yeah, it looks like I mean, he did just throw down a 4th base. Oh, that's a lot of Zerglings though. Immediately going for that shield battery. And for these... Whoa, I was worried there for a moment. Yeah, forcing Astrea back, I think that's a good job here for SOO, definitely. Because he does need time. SOO still needs a little bit more time to set up properly. This is a cancel. Well done.
Yeah, he sacrificed a lot of units for that, though, I gotta say.
Yep.
But yeah, he needs to buy some time to get those Hydras out, the Hydras upgrade, the range and speed, and then also to mine enough gas and minerals to morph those Hydras into lurkers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what he's trying to do here, I think, just to try and keep Astrea at home for as long as he possibly can. But almost looks like Astrea's like, okay, you killed my 4th base. Now the 2nd time, I'm just gonna accept that I'm not getting a 4th base. I'm just gonna go for it. And adepts again. These adepts, they're so valuable for Astrea.
Man, Astrea just playing almost like a Terran player, just attacking at 3 places at once. And oh my god, he's even going to get the lurker then before the upgrade finishes. So that's a huge pickup there for Astrea. That limits the amount of lurkers on the field, as well as having them slow burrow. And Astrea just everywhere.
Oh my god. I mean, meantime, SOO is trying to counterattack here a little bit, but these zealots are like, nope, not gonna happen. And he gets the hatchery, and that was really oh, that was close.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
My goodness. Max Angel just absolutely leveled up to Super Max Angel. Just brilliant plays after another.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is yeah, is this his final form?
I don't know, man. He's he might have a Super Saiyan level 2 or Super Saiyan level 3. You never know.
We never know until we see it. But that was some really good disruptor shots there too. Oh my goodness. SOO is really struggling. I mean, he was struggling in that last best of 7 against Astrea. We did go the entire series after all, but I absolutely did not expect Astrea being like, yeah, you know, last time you won 4 and 3, fine, but this time I'm just gonna absolutely mop over you with a 3 and 0.
Yeah, pretty impressive, I gotta say. And Astrea is gonna go ahead and march on forward. Got these chart dart run by onto the right, but his main army is knocking at the front door. He smells blood in the water, and all these lurkers. There's only like 2 lurker here at the fronts. Oh, actually,
a little bit of unfortunate here for these disruptors.
Oh yeah, but he's got the High Templars. Once that storm finishes, SOO's not gonna have a lot of ways to defend against that. I mean, look at this. He's still on 4 bases. Astrea already has his 4th base up.
And he keeps already... I mean, he did lose the 4th base once, and he's probably going to lose it again. And with these disruptors, Astrea can dictate the fight. He can make SOO go where Astrea wants it, and not where SOO wants it. And that's... And look at that army supply difference. Oh my god. This looks... I really don't want to call this early, because SOO is a fantastic player. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And he can, if anyone, he can find a way to get out of this. But I don't know. This is gonna be very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, Storm is finished. Plus 3 weapons attack is about to finish as well. That is gonna bolster his gatewayiness. And yeah, the Storm for days.
Yeah. I mean, 5 High Templars with almost full energy. There's a GG and Astrea 3-0. What?